We are waiting to go green. We are green, I believe. Yeah, we are. Hello and welcome, guys. To MMS IndyCar World Series, round 8 of season 2 for the Shell Grand Prix of Italy around Autodromo Nazionale Monza. Joining me in the commentary box, as always, is Miran. Hello.
Hello and good afternoon to you, Kai. It's great to be back here for MMS IndyCar, this exciting series which has brought us just race after race of thrillers. Now we visit the Monza circuit, and the championship has never been more closer.
Yeah, 2 points separating the top two. That's, I think, a record currently in MMS. Congrats, thanks guys. That's amazing. I'm really happy about that. So, yeah, speaking of the championship, it's Sofia Ankudinova in the lead after the second race in Britain we had, which was the Vodafone British Grand Prix around Donington Park. Unlucky race for Landal and Elnura Shakadam, have to say. They've been toppled by the Ukrainian, and it's a tight fight. The top three closed within in 10 points. That's nothing.
Yeah, it really isn't. And I mean, Ankudinova drove a fantastic race at Donington, obviously securing P2 in just the final stages of the race. And then you had Mikhail Bardachenko taking his first career victory, which was absolutely fantastic to see. And Scuderia Sicilia's second win as well. And yeah, now the question is who is going to come out on top here at Monza, considering Ankudinova and Landal separated on 2 points.
Yeah, and don't forget, the team championship is also on, with EVC Motorsport being 7 points ahead of Archangel Racing Team. EVC, the Swedish team, toppling the Finnish one last race. They scored 10 more points than the Finnish outfit, and they're on top. But there is also Hobisa Racing not far behind, which obviously have Ankudinova in their ranks. So the top three in the team's championship is very close. I guess the chassis manufacturer championship somewhat close. 35 points is the gap between Reynard and Lola. Reynard can't really seal it now, but Honda can seal their second title in a row today. They just have to outscore Ford quite massively, and then that will be it. So, Miran, without further ado, how about we go down to the grid?
Yes, indeed. Do I take the grid?
Yeah, you can take the top 17, I can take the bottom one, you can take the full grid, I don't mind.
All right, so taking his third pole position of the season, it will be Adrian Fraser of Tish Duncan Racing. Once again, a strong qualifying showing for the Brit, and accompanying on the front row, it is Luke Herhold. Once again, very, very well done from the South African. Sofia Ankudinova, championship contender, lies up at third with Shak Yutian in fourth position. John Keith, once again, another strong qualifying for the Russian. He's starting P5 with Jake Tildesley back in IndyCar P6. Mitch Johnson starts in seventh with Gerard Hertz in eighth. And then it is Ankaya in ninth with Jack Carr rounding out the top 10. Erik Landal, now second in the championship, is going to be P11 with Elnur Eshag Adam third in the championship down in P12. Then it's Johannes Af Gnaget for Turismo Autosport in 13th with Samuel Ace in P14. 15th will be Yaya Tunde, followed by Roberto Moreira. Not the strongest last couple of races for him. However, he is accompanied by teammate Morten Ruben Weitz in 17th. Shimon Witt for Rebellion Carlin Racing will be in 18th with Mvondo Nguena. Pretty good qualifier for the Kazakhstan racing driver in 19th, making the best use of that Swift chassis. And then recently crowned race winner Mikhail Bardachenko will line up in P20. Matthias van der Schøtt-Kvarn, who had a very good race last time out, scoring his first career podium, he will line up P21 for Korsteiner with Mark Tander in 22nd. Marcos Aguirre for EVC Motorsport will be 23rd. Crucial race for EVC Motorsport today, as they will be looking to bring up the fight to Archangel with Patrizia Andriana Di San Marino in 24th. Yes, Ulken Doptar is P25 with Sigaret Friedman in 26th, and it's Adri Keith, the other Keith brother, starting all the way down in 27th compared to his brother with Matthew Wattenberg in P28. Darren Watkins will line up 29th as Pedro de la Lamy rounds out the top 30 with Fritz van der Slot for Apex Racing Team in P31. Ylva Spånberger Weitz is 32nd, with Yuta Horigome taking P23, and taking the final spot on the grid will be Maurice von Ackermann.
Yeah, 18 laps ahead of us, no pit stops, it's a sprint series after all, and rain is imminent. The cars are already revving their engines, and we're about to have the start of the race. Here we are, 10 red lights, and we're green at Monza, and it's a very good start from Fraser. No issue for him to take the lead of the race. He closes the door on Herhold as they all go into single file racing. Not many moves being made at the top. They don't want to risk it, but in the background you can see that's Herald Hairstyle making a move on Mitch Johnson and Kaya, and I think that's Tilsey having contact, but it is Fraser into the lead of the race. You can see that's one of the Xenofox cars side by side of one of the Archangels, but a calm start compared to what we expect out of Monza. Let me just quickly, there you go. Back to the actual pack. It is a bit of a mistake from Mitch Johnson. Not many incidents. Avgnaget and Tunde battling side by side into the first Lesmo. To the inside goes the Turismo Autosport drivers side by side. It is going to be Tunde coming out on top of the Swedish driver. Calm start though. We can see one of the Moreira cars pull into the outside, but I do not suspect this to happen.
No, quite uncharacteristically enough for IndyCar, we've had a very calm start at the top of the field. Fraser leads from Herhold and Ankudinov, and Tilsley was able to jump Yut Yan at the start there. So nothing seems to have changed there, but the top three still closely packed. And just as I say that, Herhold is going to dive on the inside of Fraser, and he gets damage! And that has gone completely wrong for the South African, and it will see him, the championship contender, pour into the pits and get repaired.
What was that from Herhold? He gets a very good run, but here he loses all the momentum and then he just goes for a reckless move. That is not how you do it. In the background there you can see John Keefe going out of the track. That's bizarre from him. I guess trying to avoid a possible crash. I don't know what he was doing there. Yeah, caught a bit of havoc at the back of the pack. But yeah, big mistake from Luke Herhold. You certainly wouldn't expect this from a driver like him, It's just bizarre. Back to
the field is quite closely bunched up here. You can see Ankaya making the move on, I think it was Elnur Eshak Adam. Here goes Mitch Johnson on Gerard Hertz once again. They battle through the Retifilio, and that's Von Ackermann.
Von Ackermann out of the race. What happened here? Oh, and that's... what happened? Hold on, so... Von Ackermann... Oh, that's an aggressive rejoin. Look at the wheel there snapping onto the track. Then realizing his mistake, but it was way too late. Von Ackermann was already, That is just... What happened to Van Hertz? He just goes off. That's completely on him. And then he just goes and rejoins into Ackermann, putting him out of the race.
Yeah, that's going to be on the Dutchman, unfortunately. It's a self-made mistake, and the re-entry was even worse. So we'll see what the stewards will have to say about that.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a hefty penalty for the already damaged Apex Racing Team car. That's not what you want to do, and that's damage to Yaya Tunde, who's lost his rear wing in this little conundrum here. He goes off, being pressured by Avgnaget. He locks up into, I think the turn is now called Michele Alboreto. Yeah, old Parabolica, and then Vit has nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's on Tunde. Lucky for Vit not to get any damage there.
Yeah, that is, I guess, we're finally hitting the actual Monza.
Yeah, it kicked in a bit late, but I think one man we should mention, Jake Tildesley in second, I have to say has had a very, very good start, and he is pressuring Adrian Fraser.
Yeah, Fraser definitely feels the breath of the young Brit on his neck, as that Archangel car is really close. And I have to say, Tilsey has had an amazing comeback to IndyCar and racing in general. I did not suspect that from him. And Variante Alboreto, yeah, thank you. That is the new corner name. But yeah, I have to say, it's It's been an amazing comeback for Jake Tilsley, and I'm just happy to see him this way, you know.
It really is, obviously. Reserve driver for Benetton in Formula 1. He's been keeping his instincts sharp, and here he goes.
Oh, it's going to be an aggressive move. But Fraser on the brakes, he's just superior. I don't know what that Tish Duncan have done to the car, but he's just able to defend into Variante Alboreto, and that's very good stuff from him. You can see a few attempts at overtakes. Horigoma actually goes through Ilva Spanberger Weiz, so there you go. That's a successful overtake, finally. And Fritz sorry to cut in. That's Jake Tilsley making a move on to Fraser. Contact, a lot of contact, nearly spins the British driver out. Luckily, no further happenings right there, but it is a 10-second time penalty for Van Het Slot for that clash.
Yeah, that's understandable. Tilsley, though, getting his elbows out as he's trying to attack Adrian Fraser, trying to notify his presence. One aggressive Brit versus the other. I've never seen this before in IndyCar.
Yeah, it is. You know, this is the characteristic trait of Monza, I suppose. You really go for it here, and we have dark skies. Minon, I think rain is on the way.
And this could shake up the order, obviously, as Fraser, look at that, doesn't get a very good exit. Tilsley tried to pull it out of the slipstream to try and line up alongside him, but he could not find the opportunity to get past Fraser. But yeah, I think now that the rain's going to start to drop, I think we could see a shake-up when it comes to pace here.
Yeah, definitely. Kat Aguirre now trying to send it on to Shimon Witt, as I have notifications coming from Epic Games Store. I have to close that down.
Thank you, Epic Games.
Yeah, thank you, Epic Games. Thank you, Mr. John Fortnite. Anyways, Keith now going for a move on to Hertz. It does not work out. The drivers are struggling to overtake here, but... But I suppose that's just the characteristic of these cars. You really can defend here. It's not just, you know, an easy overtake series. As Friedman, you can see, makes a mistake here, just trying to go onto Bardachenko. It's easy to overdrive those cars, and that's Tunde still with damage. Van Het Slot and Tunde were not serviced in the pits.
What on earth? I think, I presume Archangel and...
they might have not been ready.
Apex, yeah. Or maybe they just ran out of rear wings, who knows?
I mean, maybe they weren't able to fix it. Attaching a rear wing is nothing fun, guys. I have to say that, but as Hertz now trying to retake the position from Johnson, it's very dark skies now, and I think the heavens might open at any moment. Gertz does get through, and...
Nice move.
Yeah, that was a nice move, and obviously this slows the pack down behind the Australian, and John Keefe will definitely be looking to line a move onto the United Autosports car. Back to the front, Jacques Jutien has joined the battle for the lead.
Yeah, now with Herholt's blunder, that brings the Green Atlantic driver in back up into third and the podium positions. And you got Sofia Yankutinova there. Look how much she's catching up by in fourth. So I think we're having a four-way battle for the lead here, Kai.
We do. I'm about to check what happened to Pedro Della Lambi because he suddenly dropped down the order. What happened to Pedro? Does it look like a spin? Oh, it is a spin. He tried. Oh no, it's an unsafe region for Matthew Wattenberg. And then he gets spun further on the curbing and the gravel. What happened to Matthew? It's oh, he goes for a move onto John Keefe. That's opportunistic into... Is it Della Roja?
Della Roja, yes.
Yeah. That is, yeah, over the curb into the air goes the Lotus. And then... Yikes.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of runoff there. I mean, I don't know why his first instinct was just to immediately re-enter when he's in a pack of cars.
That's a 5-second penalty to Wattenberg.
Yeah, that's understandable.
No damage to Della Lambi, but still, you know, contact was made. He did force the man off the track. Back to the front, not many moves being made just yet. The rain being on the way, I suppose they don't really want to risk it now, because if they lose the position, they might never retake it, right? It is...
Precisely, I do think that, but, you know, the rain is unpredictable, we never know.
Yeah, see we go, that's Jack Cara on to the championship contender Erik Landal. It's just not been going his or Shakadam's way in the last two races. This is bad.
Yeah, and Erik is known for fighting in the top 10 for big points, and you know that is what he's known for. He's only scored one podium to his name in this entire season, in his entire career, yet he still is second in the championship compared to Sofia Ankulinova, who has a win and a podium. So really, consistency is supposed to be his thing.
I guess he is consistently struggling in the last 2 races. I guess you can say that, but you know, I mean, hope Eric is gonna come back because he's been doing amazingly.
I'm gonna say this: it was only the last race in which he has struggled. You think and that's Horigome. Might the same thing Wattenberg? I think the same thing happened to Wattenberg. No,
he just spins. Lucky to not have damage, I have to say that.
Really?
That he just hops over one curb, hops over the other, goes onto the gravel and loses it. Utah has been... He's not been enjoying himself.
Yeah, I have to say, that Panos looks really difficult to drive.
Ever since they got nerfed after Germany, they've just not been themselves really. As Asgutjär making the fence, I think, on Ankudinova, not many moves. This reminds me of Donington, where Donington was a patience race. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah. But... I would say... Well, obviously, everything in motorsport, when it comes down to it, it is about patience. And one man who isn't patient is Jake Tillersley as he goes on the inside line, or the outside line, of Adrian Fraser, bangs wheels with his fellow compatriot, yet he is not able to get past.
You know, it's a brave thing from Tilsey to do this, especially knowing what a character, you know, Adrian is, but kudos to him for trying, kudos to him for not being afraid to put the elbows out, to show what he's made of. Landau trying to get through Cara, that's contact, that's not what you want to do. Shakadam is now on his back, and it really is just not looking like Landau is confident in the car, and we have rain.
Yeah, I think now is where the turning point for some of these guys could start to happen. But Jake Tillersley, I have to say, I'm really loving this new version of Jake Tillersley, considering where he was last season, slowest of everyone in his team, and barely managing to score points. It's really great to see that he has now gotten it together with a new team, and he is able to fight for wins.
Yeah, you can say a lot about Moreira, especially since, you know, even this season they have one decently performing car, and that's Roberto. So, oh god, sorry for the voice crack, but that's Roberto's. That's John Keefe with a beautiful move, and look at Samuel Ace. He's going to use this and get through Hertz easily.
Yeah, Hertz not having the best of times as he heads through the Parabolica. I know it's the Variant Alboret,
yeah,
but I'm just going to call it Parabolica out of familiarity. There is Adric Keith trying to replicate his brother here as he's going to try to get past Patricia Andriana di San Marino. Matthew Wattenberg lurks behind as well, trying to pick up the scraps from this battle as they go side by side down the start-finish straight on board with Ylva Spånberger Weitz, I believe this is, yes, as she tries to pick up the slipstream from Adric Keith. Might she try to challenge Wattenberger and make it 2-file? Yep, there she goes. Late lunge on the inside line there into the Retifilio. They go wheel to wheel. Wattenberg does not get the best of exits as they head out of the first chicane and into Curva Grande. It is Spånberger Weitz who does get past Matthew Wattenberg.
You know, the funny thing about this corner, you cannot say the full name on Polish television.
Yeah, I can understand why.
Ooh, Wattenberg, what a retake.
Yeah, that was aggressive. He really just went for it, and it paid off. Nicely done from Matthew Wattenberg. Very daring move from the Brits.
Yeah, as we go back to the front of the pack, it is now Ankudinova ahead of Tilsey. We missed that overtake due to what was going on there in the midfield, but let's see Ankudinova. That's a nice move around the outside into De La Rocha, gets on the curb and just gets the move. Beautiful stuff from the Ukrainian, really showing why she's currently in the lead of the championship.
Yeah, very nicely done from Sofia Ankudinova. Every position is going to help her in the championship, obviously, and considering that she just missed out on the championship last season compared to Johannes van Leer, she'll be obviously wanting to take the title for granted this time.
Yeah, definitely. But back to this pack, and not many moves happening. Never mind, John Keefe is feeling it now. Look at that. Oh, never mind, Ace and him going... He nearly went off. I think this was mainly due to rain, not really Samuel Ace's aggressive defense. You do feel the effects of the rain on these cars. Hertz now going to the inside. He gets blocked by Keith. No move there. They have to stay in single file. Jack Kara and Elnura Shakaram. He's gone in front of Eric Landal, and now he might go in front of Kara. They bang wheels side by side into Lesmo 1. That's a slide from Tunde. Beautiful move from Landal. Sorry, that's Ankaya with a bit of a slide, and that's Avgnaget struggling for pace here. Yeah, but I have to say, this track has caught up multiple teams. Look at the minimap. We have big gaps over the pack.
We really do. That is quite an interesting sight to see. And there's Horigome around once again at De La Roggia.
Yeah, I think the pen... Oh, and he's into the wall, and that is not what you want to see. Yuta Horigome just... He's not having fun like he would be in ACOC in Super Formula, I'll just say that.
Yeah, it's really just not going the Japanese driver's way here.
It's been a downhill slide. Yeah, I guess Penske just didn't prepare a good car. It was a bit of a Vadim Kogai moment though. But anyways, here we go. That's Friedman to the inside of Van der Schutfan. No move being made there. Keith might think about sending it on to Nguena. This is not for points, but hey, it could be a nice position gain for Adric. But no, it isn't. Not many moves here. It is, as I said, this is a sitting race more than anything. Never mind, Yukyan goes a bit wide. Ace does as well. Keith retakes the position the same way he lost it. And Johnson also puts himself up into 4th. But Fraser is running away with it.
I think it's raining a bit more in turn 1. There might be more standing water on the track, which is the reason why some drivers might be starting to go wide.
Oy.
As they head through, and there's Ace! Just as I was talking about the rain impacting drivers, Ace slips up and Geertz gets past.
Shakanama with a daring move there as well, nearly clipped the Zenithworks car there. Avgnaget also sliding about, so yeah, the rain is starting to have a massive effect on these cars and how the drivers perform. Wartenberg going wide here out of De La Roggia. He has to worry about the pack behind him, and then you have Horigome, who's only now going to come into the pits. His race is pretty much over.
Lucky for the leading guys though, they will not have to lap the Penske car of Horigome, obviously, considering he will be in the pit lane as they go past the main straight.
Oh, and that's Jack Kara to the inside of Elnura Shakaram. He gets him. He nearly got Ace as well, but wasn't really able to manufacture that overtake to go so far. But yeah, we're finally having some nice racing thanks to the rain here. Landal side by side of Roberto Moreira, and he's pushed out of slipstream, and this might promote Moreira into a position to overtake. No, it's going to promote Landal into a maybe triple overtake. It's just a double overtake, I think, for now. Elnur nearly pushes him. 2 championship contenders side by side. EVC and Archangel obviously a fight in the team's championship as well. Massive stuff here, and you just love to see those guys battle, albeit it's a shame they're not fighting for the win. Well, yeah, there you go. More snaps of oversteer these guys have to catch. Back to the front, it's still Fraser, but Tilsey has gone through Ankudinova, and now Jake Tilsey is going to pressure Adrian Fraser for the race leader. 2 Brits are going to battle it out again with Ankudinova had a front row seat to this battle, as they all go down into Ascari now. Midge Johnson might join this battle pretty much out of nowhere as the rain is not stopping. It is easing off a bit, but it's still some pretty heavy rain. Tilsey is going to go for the move. Oh, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Yeah,
he's too far back. He's too far back on Adrian Fraser, but Mitch Johnson now joining the battle for the race lead. That is actually quite the shocker. I wonder how that is going to affect things, considering Shaq Yutian is struggling to keep up with the leading pack. And there already is Jake Tillersley on Adrian Fraser, but he gets out of the slipstream. Sofia Ankudinova is going to try to find the advantage to try and push past the Brit once again. They go side by side through the Retifilio. Tillersley looks to be ahead as they come out of the corner, and he is ahead of Sofia Ankudinova for the time being. So the Brit on the defense towards the championship leader.
Look at the slipstream run Johnson has just got. He's not leaving this pack, and he's gonna stay with it as long as he can. A bit of a snap of oversteer here. That's Ace and Kara battling for position. Beautiful racing between the two. No contact. You love to see stuff like this. Still side by side as they go through Lesmo 1. It's still side by side. No, it's not now. Kara, I think, gets the position actually, as they are about to lap Horigome, Miran.
This could throw a spanner in the works.
Oh god, we got
Adrian
botted. I
Fraser.
didn't notice. Hold on. We got botted.
Yeah, now this is going to get interesting. Tildesley getting the rear out as he heads out of Ascari. This could give Ankudinova the advantage compared to the Brit. But Adrian Fraser, Tildesley, and Ankudinova, all these guys in the top 3. And then you got, look at this. You got Gutian, Keith, and Hertz joining the battle.
Yeah, the pack is starting to bunch up again as, you know, the battles continue. You slow yourself down, and this is the theme we've been seeing this whole season. You just cannot stay in a pack for long. Just look at Tilsey, he's going to go to the inside of Fraser. He's not giving up the dream. Massive contact, a bit of airtime there for the front of Tilsey's car, but it's an unsuccessful attempt again. He's doing everything he can. Ace gets pushed a bit wide, Kara gets the move there. Nice stuff from the Australian. Vit and Aguirre side by side for P15 at the moment, with Martin Ruben Weitz eyeing up those 2 spots for himself. Good run from Martin Ruben Weitz. Is going to go to the inside, trying to get Aguirre. Aguirre is going to go into the inside, into De La Roja. His teammate Elnura Shakaram doing the same. I don't know to what car though. Still side by side, and that's damage to someone, and that's damage to Elnura Shakaram.
Oh, and that is going to be big for the man who's 3rd in the championship.
What happened to the man from Sudan, as you call him? He goes on a move on Landal, oh, and hits him and goes off, and then tries to rejoin as soon as possible. He hits Moreira, he hits Ankaya, and then being on the curb, Avgnaget has nowhere to go here. Luckily no damage for Avgnaget, so no penalty there really, but Elnur just over aggressive, and well, he's in the bin now.
Yeah, I think that might have just been his championship hopes tarnished. So yeah, we'll see if he's going to be able to recover from this, considering there's not a lot to go in the season.
Miran, did you see this? Did you see this? The lapping Horigome, and Fraser couldn't get through the Japanese driver, and look at the oh no, oh look at this train of cars.
It is absolutely ginormous. Here goes Fraser on Horigome. Should be an easy move. There goes Ankudinova, and that's Tildesley with damage!
You're joking. No, this is not happening. Oh, that's a car into the wall. That's Samuel Ace, I think. Yeah, Ace is out. Ace has been spun out in Variante Alboreto, but what happened to Jake Tilsey? He was behind Horigome, and he just goes into the back of him. He outbraked himself.
I mean, really, where else was he supposed to go? Ankudinova was there on his inside. There was nothing he could have done.
He just
and
cracked.
that Pence.
He just cracked under the pressure.
I mean, honestly, I can't even blame Tildesley on this. There's really not a lot of places he can go. If he would have turned to the left, Ankudinova would have hit him up the back.
Yeah, that is true. And what happened to Ace? Oh!
Oh, dear.
Then that's both of the Zenith Works cars out of this race. They're done. That's it for today. So I guess Ace just aquaplaned off the track. Maybe due to the yellows, I'm not sure. And then he tries to rejoin as soon as possible. And yeah, Ankaya has nowhere to go here.
Yeah, it's too quick thinking from Ace, and it just did not work for the American.
We'll just get an angle on this accident. He goes off, tries to rejoin, yeah, and Kai had nowhere to go, and into the bin goes the Zenithworks car. Big shame as well.
Yeah, there is Elnur Eshek Adam and Tildesley into the pit lane as we look at the battle for the lead. And Horigome, what are you doing?
Oh, and Horigome spins. Fraser might get aero damage from all of this. What is Yuta doing? This is not what you do as a lapped car. Oh, this might be under investigation here for his antics. That's a bit unacceptable. as Pedro Della Lamy is into the pit. Same with Matthew Wattenberg. We missed a crash. We're about to investigate what's going on, but we have a battle on the hands of Jack Cara and Gerard Hertz side by side. Cara goes a bit off. Luckily has a safe region. Moreira is going to go through him as well. So did Eric Landal. This is playing into the Danes' hands, really, as Johnson is now into second. He got through Ankudinova. Good stuff from the Australian. I'm really impressed by Mitch Johnson, I have to say.
Yeah, he's been doing really well, I have to say. But there's Wattenberg without a rear wing.
Oh, I think we can connect the dots. Can we? Yeah. Okay, let's see what happened here. Looks like Della Lamy has done the dirty. And no, it's Wattenberg doing the dirty. Look at this. The Panos is struggling through Della Rogia and then he just rejoins.
Yeah, Tom Wattenberg.
Yeah, that's going to be 10. That's going to be another time penalty for Wattenberg. It's now going to be 15 seconds, I think, in total. Yeah, it's going to be 15 seconds. Because that's a 10-second time penalty for him, so... He's not enjoying himself. I'll tell you that. As
I previously said, the Panos looks like a real difficult car to drive. But Horigome is ahead of Fraser again.
Yeah, and he's pulling away. Yeah, this series really likes to laugh at the drivers at times. It's been a wild season. Ankudinova now pulls out of the slipstream. She's going to send it onto Johnson, and this move actually works as an overtake. You love to see it. But yeah, it's now been quite a hectic round as Stromberg is thinking about it, not really able to do much. As once again some more cars lapped in the pit lane. It's now Mitch Johnson. I don't think he should send it. He's gonna send it.
He is gonna send it into turn 1, but obviously he's not close enough to try it. On Sofia Ankudinova, there's Shaq Yutian and Gerard Hertz, who are gonna battle with each other for 6th position, and Hertz does get the Greenlandic driver for 6th.
Good stuff from the Dutchman, as he's trying to, I guess, give Apex Racing and give them the value they lost over the course of this season, because they've been really struggling. They've been on the back foot, and they need strong results. As look at this, as Van der Schultz trying to make a move on Aguirre. I think he was lining up for a move on Vit, but Vit is defending. Aguirre is all over the place. It's a bit aggressive. I don't know what Marcos is trying. The man obviously is going to be in Formula 1 next year, I do believe. As there is Hertz once again on John Keith. He's already trying to get another car just as he got past Jacques Yvdian. We'll see then if the Dutchman is going to be able to get the Apex Racing team a moment in the sun this season at a rainy Monza, ironically enough. Speaking of the rain, it has finally stopped pouring it down as that Van der Schultz onto Aguirre. Nice move. And this bunches up this little pack we have of people not really connected to the main pack. Up to the front is Ankudinova and Johnson. They're gonna go both onto Adrian Fraser. Will the British driver be able to defend? He goes to the outside. It might be a Hamilton-Verstappen situation. It nearly is one, but it is going to be Ankudinova surprisingly getting the exit, and we have a new race leader, ladies and gents.
I have to say though, the pace Ankudinova's had over the span of this race and the last race has been absolutely fantastic. She's been waiting so patiently, and then when the time is right, she just strikes, and there's nothing the other driver can do. It's absolutely incredible, I have to say, when it comes to see the Ukrainian driver fighting for points.
Yeah, the experience comes in hand, I guess. It's her second season here, and you said this previously, but she definitely has the motivation to finally get that title after ending up, I believe, a runner-up last season. So, the hope is definitely there. As Johnson, Fraser, and Ankudinova once again, this pack of cars is going to do it. Next lap, it's going to be a 3-lap sprint. That's going to be interesting. That's going to definitely spice things up. As into Variante Alboreto, no moves being made here by anyone. Not yet. No, everybody's staying nice and calm.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting then. Obviously, you've got a very, very tight battle in the top 3. You've got Sofia Ankudinova fighting for her 3rd win in IndyCar. You've got Adrian Fraser, who is fighting for, I believe, his...
Oh, look at Fraser, look at Fraser. He's gonna get a good one on Kuninova here. Sorry to go into the statistics, but this is a good challenge from Adrian. He's gonna try and get it done on the outside of Grande, but he's gonna find the pace. He's gonna find a space to go into as they go into Roger. No, it's Mitch Johnson diving into the inside of the British driver. It's not easy for Fraser, as I think Horigoma has spun in front. Yes, he has, and Kuninova is going to be tampered here with. No, and Kuninova easily laps Horigoma. I think it might be over. Hertz joins this fight, but no moves being made, and that is... that's a surprise. Fraser wasn't able to go through Horigoma for long. But look at this. Horigoma is in the slipstream now, and I think we might have a repeating of history, Miran.
Oh dear, and yeah, there goes Horigoma on the inside into Ascari, and the Japanese driver, he's putting so much of a spanner in the works for Kuninova, and look at the poor exit she's got. Kuninova will be fuming about that, as Fraser is now once again on the back of the Haubitzer racing car. Will he be able to do it into the Parabolica? He stays behind for the time being, and I think he is going to try it into turn 1. There goes Chuck Yutian and Erik Landahl side by side. Landahl trying to score important points here. Especially when his championship rival is currently leading this race.
And look at the overspeed in the slipstream as they all go down into Rettifilio. It is Fraser to the inside of Kuninova. Will he have enough overlap? No, they bank tyres. This is the Adrian Fraser way. He goes a bit wide, doesn't get the best of exits. He's going to have to try and capitalise here. He closes the door. Fraser retakes the lead of the race with 2 laps to go, and he's pulling a gap on Kuninova. That's amazing speed, and the rain is coming back, and Fraser felt like fish in water during that rainy period. He was untouchable, so we might see a repeat of this. Moreira and Afgnaga now side by side. Moreira is pushed a bit wide. Vit might try and capitalize on that in the rebellion. That's Horigoma.
Yeah, I guess that's one way of letting them down. You can see absolute chaos here as everyone's just all over the circuit trying to lap Horigoma. I have no idea what's going on here. There is Bardachenko and Tander fighting. Mikhail Bardachenko does get past, or does defend from Mark Tander, and Tander himself is going to have to defend from the Israeli Sigal Friedman, but Friedman does not get the overlap. On Tander, never mind, there goes the Israeli into the Ascari chicane, and on the inside goes Friedman. Tander just hangs it on the outside, gets the better exit. That was quite the shocker from Mark Tander. There goes Morten Ruben Veit, but yes, the shot caught in contact between the two. Veit has to back out of that, and it's not gone terribly well for the Scuderia Moreira car.
I think my heart just skipped a beat because, of course, this is the place where Rodney Rakos got injured in Season 1 of Formula 1 in a very similar accident, except his MiG car went airborne in Parabolica. That was a terrifying accident. Glad we didn't get a repeat of it. Yeah, Agura and Dopter battling for position, but we have to go to the front because this is the final lap, and Kuninova is very close to Fraser. You can sense the overtake in the air, but will it happen, or will it just be a faint smell of ifs and buts as Gnaget gets a dodgy run, and that's Horigoma, and oh, that's damage. I think
that's one of the EVC cars. I think
it is. Yeah, that's Aguirre, but that is Horigoma finally out of it. I'm sorry, but
honestly, it's really dangerous to see what Horigoma is doing.
Yeah,
especially,
it was this corner he always just spun out at. It was just this corner, and now, well, I guess it finally hit him.
And nothing. Such a shame for Marcos Aguirre as well.
It was in the points.
Yeah, and even more of an important race considering EVC are in the constructors' fight against Archangel.
Yeah, now they will not score a single point to their name. There was nothing he could have done.
Still, I honestly have to say Horigoma has been really dangerous when it comes to lapping. I think
it might go into post-race investigation, because this is what he's been doing is just lowering the standard of driving, and it's not really acceptable, is it?
Yeah, but still controversy then on the final lap of the Grand Prix of Italy. There goes Mitch Johnson, also for Kuninova into Ascari. Or no, sorry, that's Hertz trying to get the podium away from the I forgot Where is
Australian.
From? Australian, right. I forgot it was Australia or New Zealand there. I completely forgot. But heading into the final corner, we're going to see who is going to get it. There goes Ankudinova.
Go for it.
Oh, and Ankudinova with damage. That is the championship leader. She's off. And massive drama on the final corner. Moreira's gonna get Ankudinova. Landal is gonna get Ankudinova. Massive news here. And it is gonna be Mitch Johnson who wins the Grand Prix of Italy.
What? What happened?
That is, my goodness.
Wait, look at this. Look, he just gets the better run on Fraser. He cuts to the inside. Oh no. That's nothing.
My goodness. What a way to secure first win.
He closes the door here. He completes the overspeed. Hertz on the podium. Oh.
What a finish. Once again, IndyCar delivers on close finishes, but that's going to be massively controversial. I am sure of it. Ankudinova just tried a desperate lunge at Fraser, and that put her out. And Johnson, who saw Fraser getting hit by Ankudinova, just saw it and pushed all the way until the end. I mean, I can understand how much adrenaline would have been going through the Australian's body when he went on the inside of Fraser to secure his first win. That's absolutely incredible. But Ankudinova has made an absolutely fatal blunder here. You can see just too late on the brakes, just charging in too hot. And now Erik Landal has gone in 7th.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, the man who we thought would definitely lose the championship lead, or would obviously...
he would have a very hard time trying to gain the gap back, because that would be 2 P2s for Ankudinova in a row. Now it's probably going to be no points.
And Landal, who is going to come home scoring... how many points is it for P7?
Ankudinova is not scoring points today.
My good... That is absolutely horrible.
Landal is scoring 26 points. That's a massive gap over Ankudinova.
That's going to be a 24-point... lead in the championship. That is gonna be massive, unless Fraser takes second. But still, that is absolutely phenomenal, and it really goes to show once again in IndyCar that it's never over until it is over.
You know, the rain, everything. You know, Ankudinova did go offline when it started to rain, and I suppose the puddles forming. I don't know what happened in the cockpit of Sofia, but that move was just not on. It was just not on. She made that move quite a few times this race, but it just didn't work that specific crucial moment. And I'm just glad Fraser didn't backflip into the wall.
Really, yeah. But my goodness, what a dramatic finish!
Well, there is your race winner. And Matthew Wattenberg scores the fastest lap of the race.
Oh, that's a surprise. But I have to say, once again, a new race winner has been crowned in IndyCar.
Yeah, hold on. How many different winners we had this season?
We have had
6.
6.
Yeah, he's the 7th new race winner.
That is absolutely crazy.
You love to see it. You just love to see it. Wow. Oh, this championship is just something else. So, can you name a driver of the day today?
As much as I was obviously planning in my head that I wanted to give it to Sofia Ankudinova, but now I have to say with that, the failed lunge down the inside, I really can't give it. But if I had to give it to anyone, as much as I want to give it to Mitch Johnson, I think he's done a really good job. I am going to give it to Erik Landal, because really, once again, it goes to show that when you don't give up, you're still able to perform. You think I think when it came to the championship today, everything was stacked against him, starting down in
11th.
In 11th to finish P7. I still think it's a really good way of just never giving up. And he made some pretty good overtakes today. But, yeah, I'm still unsure if I should give it to Landal or Johnson, honestly. Because I think both did a really good job. A lot of people did a really good job. I will say that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
wanna
gonna
give
remain
it.
neutral on this.
I want to give it to. I wanted to give it to Shimon Vitt. He's done well
Yeah,
this. He's been quiet, but he's done well. He from 18th to 11th in the Rebellion, which is not known for being a good car, to put it gently, lightly, and politely. So yeah, that's been the Shell Grand Prix of Italy, guys. You should be glad we got to Monza. Originally, this was meant to be at Ennapagusa, but that was going to be a Borefest, and we got, I think, one of the more surprising races of the season.
really, I have to agree with you.
So, next race in IndyCar is the Gulf Air Bahrain Sprint on the Bahrain Outer Layout.
That's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be the first time IndyCar will visit Bahrain. I think that one's gonna be
Yeah.
quite interesting.
And our next actually scheduled race, we'll see how it goes, but it's either going to be the Le Mans race at Montreal on Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, the 300 kilometers of Montreal, or the United States Grand Prix in Formula One, which should be a good one considering we have, to be precise, we have 9 drivers still in championship contention with 2 races to go.
It is looking quite close in all championships now.
You'll have to see it. This is what MMS is meant to be. So we're gonna go on with our seasons. Hopefully, they're gonna continue to be as good as they are now, and I think we can end off. I think we can finish this, Miran.
Yes, we can. Oh, you want me to do the outro?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, so thank you so much for watching IndyCar today. It's been a fantastic race once again. As Kai said, we will have plenty of more MMS action throughout the next following days. Could have the Formula One United States Grand Prix and the LMS race at Montreal. Make sure to not miss that. But yeah, I have been Miran.
And I've been Kai. And we'll
Thanks so much.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll let you take it.
Yeah, and we'll see you in the next one. Be sure to be safe on the roads and wear your seatbelt. And I guess wear warm clothes. Winter is coming, to quote Game of Thrones. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Goodbye.